All right, everybody. Hello. How are you guys doing? All right. Unbelievable week for the Spartans. I thought it was a great week across the board. So exciting things. But last weekend, as you know, we played Penn State, #1 team in the country. We played them here in front of a great crowd. Tough match. You know, it went back and forth. Had opportunities in game one and didn't close it out in extended scoring, and then came back, lost game 2, won game 3, lost game 4. It's just a really good matchup, and I thought that we played well, but we had opportunities, and Penn State, of course, is really something to watch. I know some of you guys were there, and you're looking at people like Haley Washington, and you know, she's something. You know, number 15. She had her way. I mean, some of her kills were pretty amazing. She was pretty tough to stop, but I don't think anybody stopped her on the year because she's leading the nation in hitting percentage, and there's a reason for that. The fact that she's been a first-team All-American several years, and same with Simone Lee on the outside. So they were a force to be reckoned with. And you know, and so really for us, I thought that we battled. I think there's things that we could have done better, and certainly would like to be able to get some of those points back. On Saturday, we had to turn around and go to Northwestern. And Northwestern, what's weird about it is Northwestern, we played on Saturday. They'll be back here playing us on Saturday after we play Illinois on Friday. So a back-to-back week within those opponents. And Northwestern has a great player in Simone Abbott, who's on the outside. She's really something, and she's from the state of Michigan, and you know, has had a really great year in her senior year, and has been very, very strong, and her numbers are big this year. And so you know, we've got to make sure that you know we're ready for Northwestern. I know that they'll make some changes in matchups and that type of thing as we get ready to play them on Saturday. But before that, we have Illinois, and Illinois is standing right behind us in the standings, and very strong. In fact, their blocking is one of the top in the nation. Ellie Bastinelli is leading the country in blocks per game, and she's at about 2 blocks per game, which is pretty amazing if you look at that, because most teams will block somewhere like at about 2.4 to 2.8 blocks per game. Well, Ellie's doing a lot of that for her team, and along with Jordan Poulter, who is a phenomenal player. Both of those girls were All-Americans last year, and so they're a strong, solid team. And they had their libero out for a while. She was out for probably 4 weeks, and she's back. And she was an honorable mention last year, so I guess that means they had 3 All-Americans last year. So you know, so all in all, tough weekend for the Spartans. On Friday night, we do have 3 things going on. You know, we have women's volleyball. We're starting at 6:30 both nights. 6:30, and then hockey starts off, and then there's basketball, men's basketball that evening. So a pretty congested day for sure. A lot of Spartan stuff going on. That's always great, and so big weekend for us. Following that, like we know we have a matchup. We have Michigan on that next Wednesday, so it's you know back to back. Great matches, great opportunities, and then we have Indiana as we host our parent night, which is one of our last home opportunities as the year goes on. It's hard to believe that we're almost towards the end with just 6 matches left in the Big Ten before the NCAA tournament starts. So it's winding down. It's weird. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but we definitely are closing in here, and just trying to do our best to put ourselves in position for postseason play, and you know, be ready to continue to improve and get ready for that type of season. So, questions?
Yeah, I know you're gonna.
Oh, we got both of you guys right. Okay. Who's gonna be nice and give the first question too? Oh, you're so sweet.
I know you guys obviously want Penn State. They got you twice this year. It's a team you're going to have to go through one way or the other to get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
But looking at those 2 matches, what do you see the realistic gap is? Is it a 3-1 match, or is it more of an inches type thing? And you know, them being kind of the #1 team in the standard right now.
Yeah, they're pretty dang good, and they, you know, their class, the senior class for them was the #1 recruiting class in the country, and we were rated out at 6, but they were 1, and there was a couple Big Ten teams in between there, but. They, you know, Simone Lee, like I said, and Haley Washington are big time players, you know, and it's not like the rest of them are any slouches. They're not slouches. I mean, they're very good. They run a 6-2, and they put a lot of pressure on your block and spread you out. But their libero played phenomenal against us, and I mean, she had 29 digs, and you know, would love to take some of that back. But she was on fire, and it was a well fought match. Like I said, I think we had opportunities in game 1. We had the lead and let them tie it to go ahead and close out the set. You know, you look back at that, you say, what do we have to do? Well, we have to get better at closing, and that's setting, and yet we need to, like I said, be a better, I think our blocking, you know, we're working on that, trying to make sure that we get a little bit better at what we're doing and how we're containing some of these big time players, but they're just huge and there's great players and they're number one for a reason, so.
Cathy, to steal a D'Antonioism, he always talks about how November finishing strong is the biggest thing. So with your team now, you're past kind of the murderer's row of your Nebraska, your Penn State. You still face some tough teams down the stretch. But as you look down these final 6 or so games until the postseason, how confident are you that this team is going to come together and really go on a strong run moving towards the NCAA tournament?
I'm really pleased with our team and how we're attacking practice and how we're getting after it. And it's like, what are we going to do within this short period of time to prepare ourselves for the NCAA tournament? And are we getting better at little things? Can we improve in this area, and this area like that? And that's our goal. And so, you know, it's a senior laden team. You know, they have a lot in front of them, and they're ready to get after it, and they want to make an impact. So, are we getting stronger? Are we getting healthier? Are we getting tougher as time goes on? And so, yeah, you definitely want to put yourself in a position, but you know, you don't just show up. You can't just show up at practice and say, oh my gosh, it's almost, you know, whatever, we're pretty good, whatever. We've got lots of work to do. We have plenty of things that can keep us occupied. So we're honing in on those things and making sure that, you know, we're putting our best foot forward. And we have a lot of respect for all the teams in the league. It's not like, I mean, the thing about the Big Ten, from top to bottom, any team can win on any night, and they all give you something else that you can work on in your game, like some tweak that you want to do specific to this team or that team, and those experiences really do prepare you for the NCAA tournament as you're trying to you refer back to when we did this or when we did that or when we did this within a scout, and we love adding those things to our arsenal and continuing to improve. So yeah, excited about that.
Cathy, how difficult is it for you when you're playing at the same time that Connor is?
Yeah, I know. I've missed a lot of games, so that is a tough thing. You know, thankfully, Big Ten to Go has been with me on the road, so we've been able to catch some of the basketball games. You know, see what's going on. I mean, we will be playing when they're playing on Friday night. It might overlap a little bit. Maybe I can squeak in a little bit of the game, but you know, it is hard. I mean, I'll miss that Duke game, you know, in Chicago, so that's a tough one. And I'm just an avid basketball fan as it is, but you know, and it's you know, but thankfully we do have technology these days, and we're seeing a lot of the matchups, and I'll be able to keep an eye on what's going on in Nike and Oregon too. So.
How cool was it that he got a scholarship this year?
It was pretty awesome, you know. I mean, I know that Connor doesn't expect anything, you know, that he doesn't expect a scholarship or anything like that, but I know that it meant a lot to him, and that he, you know, that he wants to just be the very best he can for this team, and that's hard, you know. I mean, it's he's got to get in there and grind it, and it's demanding, and you know, so just really to do what he can and try to control what he can control. I mean, that's a big thing.
Do you remember him telling you about it, or did you know?
Yeah, he was kind of tight-lipped about it, you know. So he's tight-lipped about a lot of stuff. So you know, you got to drag some of that out of him. And I think I'd probably see him more if he was at another person's campus. But so he knows home is there, so he feels like he can visit anytime. So I don't think he visits as much as I'd like him to anyway. But he does keep kind of tight-lipped, and it was exciting though when he told us. He was pretty pleased, and you know, just one of those things that, you know, you don't take for granted for sure. So. Well, thank you guys. See you later. Bye-bye.